It's a double Group 3 race day at Sha Tin on Sunday. Tom Wood is here for the selections on the B course. It's a twilight meeting and racing gets underway at 4 o'clock. It's a Class 5 over the 2,000 metres race number 1. Class droppers Kingly, Demeanor and Turtle again. Sunny Baby has the cheek pieces going back on. Superb Daddy has the tongue tie off. Arthur's Kingdom last start winner carries an extra £3 for it. And Joyful Champions placed 2 from 3 course and distance. Speed map Tom has Arthur's Kingly led last time at Happy Valley and just kept on going.
Yeah, well, can he make it 2 in a row? He's likely to try and replicate the same sort of tactics here. Arthur's Kingdom. Fast pass, he's got no form to speak of, but they probably have to press forward into the first turn with him. Sunny Baby, he's trying course and distance again as Sunny Baby for the 6th time. Hasn't been successful in the past. Happy Hero should get the nice run. Go, Joyful Champion. They were relatively positive on Kingly Demeanor last time out as well and stayed on there for 5th behind Satirical Glory.
Here is Tom, the winner of Arthur's Kingdom. This was 2,200 metres at the Valley, so back 200 metres this week, where Happy Hero is 1 start for 1 win.
Yeah, so I do like Happy Hero coming into this race. Horse number 7 for Lyle Hewitson and Mark Newton. Been a little while since he's won. He has been able to win on the 2 occasions this season. Mark Newton's really transformed him since he's had him, and he was staying on here nicely. He'll try to chase Arthur's Kingdom. We've seen at Happy Valley a few meetings recently that's been the place to be on the front. So he definitely got things to suit there. I'm steering away from him. I've got Go and a Classic Archie I thought not the worst either.
Our second replay is featuring Joyful Champion running a place here. Now, Green Laser ends up running 3rd in this race, but he's also had 2 starts since this performance.
Yeah, he has, and he's really starting to battle for his career now. He's off a rating of 16, so he's got to try and boost that before the end of the season, and he's on that quick backup. Chased Home Asian won the other day. The all-weather wasn't the worst there by any stretch. Joyful Champion probably needs to be respected here, the way he's going at the moment for Michael Chang. Dylan Moe had the trail here, every chance behind Golden Fairy, so definitely taking Green Laser out of this. The others are a little bit hard to find. Diamond Winner, he just sort of does what he does there without winning.
That's a breakdown of the first. We've just about seen them all across 2 replays.
Yeah, we have. I like the 7 here in the first, and that is Happy Hero for Mark Newton, and also Lyle Hewitson from barrier number 1. Should get the perfect run. Go's been relatively consistent. His last couple, Zach's been on board for those. It's Andrea Razzini, Joyful Champion, and Classic Archie. He's an 1,800 metre winner at Happy Valley, and he's trying course and distance for the 2nd time. Harry Bentley Douglas White was better last time out, but 7, 6, 10 and 5 for the first.
Tom going for Happy Hero to make it 2 starts for 2 wins at the Sha Tin 2,000 metres. Race number 2, small field here for the Class 2, and it's over the 1,400 metres. Penfold Park handicap it is. Mr. Ascendancy is a 2-time course and distance winner. Wonder Kits had 2 starts at 1,400 for 2 placings. Spirited Express, both of his wins in Hong Kong have been over further. Superb Boy ran 12th last time behind Supreme Lucky, but it was a rain-affected track, and Keefe will see his trial shortly. He won that trial, and on the speed map, Tom, you'll be 1 off following Superb Boy.
Well, there's no better opportunity than this to find some form for Keefe, because he's been terrible the last wee while now, but Wonder Kid, he likes to lead. He's been going forward recently. Superb Boy won't be far away. Supreme Lucky can also race handy in this sort of lineup here from barrier number 1. Mr. Ascendancy, Spirited Express, they all should get their chance here over the 1,400 metres. A very consistent horse, Tom, is a Wonder Kid. Here he is in our first replay. Up outside Packing Treadmill. Supreme Lucky is running 4th on the rail. This was a Class 1, so Wonder Kid up to 127 plus 12. Supreme Lucky carries 126. And we're going to see a few of these horses go round in the Group 3 level later on in the program. Taj Dragon, one of those, and Ortula Begil there, who were launched late. But Wonder Kid had a good battle here with his stablemate up the fence there, of course, being Packing Treadmill, and then was just overhauled late here by Taj Dragon. Went down a neck. He was obviously carrying the light weight there. He's got 127 pounds to carry this time around, but he's getting ever so close to chalking up a win course and distance.
Mr. Ascendancy's had a good season, Tom. This is his recent 3rd at Happy Valley. Keefe runs 7th. We'll talk more about him shortly. He does have to shoulder the 135 here, Mr. Ascendancy, but can't really fault his form.
No, you can't. And look, he's got a good record, of course, course and distance. He's had 8 starts for a couple of wins and a couple of other third placings. I've got him in here. He was near the rear on the inside. Never really ran on last time out and wanted to lay in a bit in the straight. But that run there at Happy Valley was good. So if he can produce that and maybe a little bit more with the top weight, he's right in this.
Now, Keefe, as you said, he'd been really struggling. Looked like he was going to be such a nice horse early on his career. He couldn't quite go on with it, and the form has been poor. But he's come out and won this trial. Do you want to see him do it race day before you get too confident?
Yeah, I think so. Remember, it was probably this time 12, 14, 15 months ago. He was one of the leading contenders heading towards the 4-year-old series, and he's just gone completely backwards since then. So he's won the trial over Super Sunny Singh there. Let's hope he can produce something on race day. He's a course and distance winner, but I just don't know how well he's going at the moment.
Oh, that is Keefe at the crossroads still, even though that trial was better. Smallfield, who wins it?
I think Wonder Kit here can prevail over the 1,400 metres for Francis Loy and Lyle Hewitson. Got Lyle to win the first couple of races. Drawn barrier 2. Supreme Lucky's in this. He, of course, was very big 2 starts ago when winning, never on the track. Mr. Ascendancy, and the stablemate of Wonder Kit is Superb Boy. Track conditions, I think, might have not totally been to his liking last time out. Back on top of the ground, hopefully, for Francis Loy and Vincent Ho. 2, 3, 1 and 5.
Tom with the consistent Wonder Kit to win race number 2 at Sha Tin on Sunday. Third race, Class 5's step out here. The trip is 1,400 metres. Harmony and Home is on the class drop for the second time. He placed the first go in this grade. Maximise Heart, he's a class drop of 2. Visor comes off him. Noble One's won off a rating of 35 course and distance. Aromatic back in trip. Jazz Club is up in trip. Diamond has the tongue tie off. Charmander's now with David Hall. And the blinkers and the tongue tie come off him. Chiron raced on Wednesday night, and Happy Hood won his best race since beginning his racing career last time, but is still well down in the ratings. Dragon Kingdom, Tommy's been trialling well all season, but just not producing on race day.
Does not front up on race day, does Dragon Kingdom, and he's off a rating of 20 now for a horse that's won a couple up in higher grades in the past. Dragon Kingdom. Jazz Club won't be far away. Aromatica, he has in this race come up with barrier number 2. Charmander having his first run from a new stable. Tactical Command from his draw should get a nice run. There are quite a few backmarkers in this race for Class 5 1,400.
You've been a bit keen on Tactical Command at stages of the season. Here he is running second over the 1,200 metres. The step up to 1,400, is it ideal?
I think it is. Back on the fence here towards the end of the field. The other horse in this replay, of course, is Jazz Club in the blue, the gold and the white. And you can see not a lot of clear racing room for Tactical Command on the inside, and the pink cap there held up and still no room. And then he has to dive down to the inside, come off for heels. So lost a bit of momentum there. Did Alexi Bedell aboard the Mark Newnham train to Galloper, but I think he's going well enough to take this. Of course, Mr. Good Vibes was a winner. Jazz Club running on down the outside, but barrier 14 and still yet to front up from his 16 starts to date.
Placing for Casa Legend at Happy Valley last time. He ends up running third at a perfect trip in behind Viva Allah, but stays on. Diamond looked like he was going to win a race at short notice back towards the end of January, but he's just lost all form.
Yeah, he's gone backwards 12th, 10th, 12th and 12th. He hasn't beaten a rival home in his last 2 starts now, and they're dropping him back to 1,400 metres. So maybe that can spark some interest there, but you can see he was just going nowhere at the back there. Casa Legend had that nice run on the fence behind the pace and kept on, but look, he's a 23-start maiden who hasn't won either. That's what we're dealing with here.
The concentration, Tommy, hasn't done too much on race days so far, but he's getting down in the ratings now. He's in Class 5, and this is his recent trial win on the all-weather.
I thought it was worth showing this because he's done nothing to date so far from his 8 starts. He's a 3-year-old son of Hellbent. He's got a few less runs than some of these that have been well tried, and he's only had 1 start in Class 5. He was down the track behind Hero Star, but won this trial in good order by 2.5 lengths. I thought maybe there could be an opportunity to go forward with him. The speed man has got him going back, but he's won that trial by 2.5 lengths. Maybe if they just go straight to the front like they did in the trial from a wide draw, he might not be the worst in a race like this.
Does he make the top four?
He does make the top four, does the concentration, but overall went with number 3 here, Tactical Command, for Mark Newnham and Alexi Bedell. A bit unlucky last time out. Charmander's first up from a new stable. David Hall now, Keegan DeMello. He's had 2 trials with David Hall. Chased along, he's a little sort of average in his trial, but some of his race day form would see him in this, even though he's only got 2 placings from 20, so he's not been overly prolific when it comes to placings. Maximise Heart, the last time he was in this grade, he won off a rating of 39, so we'll see what he can do here. That was 337 days ago, and the concentration in just on a minor line, with maybe the thought they go forward with him. 3, 9, 2 and 7.
They are Tom's thoughts for the first leg of Sunday's early treble. The 4th race is the time-honoured Shingbun River Channel Handicap, and it's over the 1,200 metres. Awesome Treasure's a last start winner. He carries an extra £7 for it. Champion Method blinkers off. Romantic Novelist, the hood comes off. Campfire was due to have his debut a few weeks ago. That was the 19th, but he was scratched due to a head injury. Grand Nova and Sunday's Serenade have both only had the 1 start. Verbier has the blinkers on for the first time, as does Silver Destiny. And Smart Leader was a winner over the 1,200 at Sha Tin. That was 3 starts ago, but also it was in Class 5. Awesome Treasure, Tommy's super consistent. Did get that deserved win last time.
He did, and I think he'll be sent straight to the front again here by Keith Young for David Hayes. Super bonus, he was better last time out. He likes to race near the speed. Champion Method, he's been a bit off his last few starts now, but he's a horse that could take a handy sit from barrier 13 if they can get across. Campfire's had a few issues in the gates. Smart Leader, Jolly Companion, all the way back to Mr. Fox, who hasn't done a great deal in his limited starts to date.
Tom's our man on the interviews today, and ahead of Awesome Treasures, what is looking for a back-to-back win, Tom spoke to his trainer, David Hayes.
David, Awesome Treasure lining up in race number 4, capped off some really consistent form last start. You must have been proud the way he did it.
Really good, because he'd had 4 seconds in a row. I thought they were really honest seconds, and then that was a good win the other day against pretty competitive horses. Good barrier this week, and he's held his form.
What about the barrier and the top weight? How do you feel that's going to suit him this weekend?
I think the barrier helps a lot. He should be able to dictate. He'll be in the first 3 all the way. And if there's a bit of rain about, he can handle it. So I think he's a very competitive horse.
Keith Young, he's done a good job on the horse too, hasn't he?
Yeah, they get on very well, and the horse never runs badly for him. So I expect him to run well again.
Quick comment on Ka Ying Rising. How's he going into the weekend for his big Group 3 assignment?
Yeah, he's running out of the handicap, but I don't think he'll be potentially out of the handicap for too long. He's a pretty good horse. It's a good race, very competitive, and we'll see where we're at with him. But he's a 3-year-old, handles wet ground, in form.
David Hayes on Awesome Treasure there. You're going to make a case for this horse, Tom. His name is Grand Nova. Hugh Bowman, John Size combine. Runs 10th, but it doesn't get too much room in the straight at stages.
Yeah, I thought coming to the bigger track after making his debut over 1,000 at Happy Valley, up to 1,200 metres. He got checked coming off the back straight. There was a few horses just on the rail there that found a bit of trouble, and he copped the backwash of all of that. You can see there, just runs out of room over the final stages as well. So up and trip to the 1,200 metres. He's trialled since. Thought the trial was okay. He could come up some okay value for Bowman and Size.
And his trials before his debut were okay also. So that's Grand Nova. Champion Method. He's a horse who's had plenty of trials. He's had 3 since we last saw him. He's only had the 9 starts. He seems to have been around forever, and he's won 2 from 4 in this grade.
Yeah, I was keen on him earlier on in his career, but he just hasn't quite gone on with it. You can see he's come across heels here in this recent trial and ran on without too much pressure. Now, he's had 3 trials since his last run back on the 17th of April. So here he is lining up off a last win 224 days ago. Just like the way he did it here. Barrier 13 is obviously not ideal. Hopefully they can get across without having a 3-wide passage. I think maybe he might be coming back to some form here.
And we stay up at Chung Fa now. Silver Destiny finished 12th behind Lucy in the Sky last time. He's been up to Chung Fa. Dennis Ships put the blinkers on, and trialled him in those blinkers, and he's strong late in this.
He was strong late, and it's Angus Chung riding from barrier number 2, over-raced, got on heels down the side last time out, so things went wrong for him. They have been positive on him in the past, so we'll see where they ride him from barrier 2 this time round with the blinkers on, but seem to do it pretty comfortably here over the concluding stages. So with those blinkers on, wanted to keep him safe here.
But it is Grand Nova at some odds for you.
Yeah, Grand Nova on top, Bowman and Sai second up here, up to 1,200 metres at Sha Tin. Awesome Treasures in for a second, just has to carry the big weight with a good draw. Silver Destiny and Champion Method, the blinkers are coming off. Last win was off 57, he's off about that mark at the moment. 5, 1, 10 and 2.
Tom with Grand Nova to make it a winning Sha Tin debut for the John Size Hugh Bowman combination. Race number 5 now, a consistent horse, slightly race consistent horse at the top of the book for this, a class 4 over the 1400. That horse is King Miles. He's got an extra couple of pounds on his back for his first go over 1400. So carries 135. Storm Legend's a 2-time course and distance winner. Confringo's on debut. He's had 5 trials. Mufafa a wide draw again. Imperial McGee's won over the 1200 on the all-weather only. Better draw for Yichong Raider. All Riches has the cheek pieces and the tongue tie off. Visor goes back on. And Young Horizon wears cheek pieces for the first time. All Riches, a noted front runner here. Tom Mufafa has shown a lot of speed in his trials too.
Yeah, so maybe they can get across it with him. He led up in that most recent trial. Kurohi hasn't been too far away. Young Horizon should get a nice run through. King Miles not far away either. Speedy Chariot never really got involved last time out. He was back. Fight Time, also another one that's drawn a little awkwardly here. And D-Star, Brenton Abdallah on board replacing Angus Chung. Fast as Rocket, he was better last time out. Ledox found some trouble in the straight.
We've got King Miles first of all here. Tom running second last time over the 1200 metres. Vincent Ho, Francis Lloyd combined this week with King Miles. And we'll get a guide through this form because Awesome Treasures in the race prior.
Yeah, we will. And look, he had pretty much thought every chance here last time out. Loomed up to challenge the winner at about this point, but the winner just had too much on him over the final stages. He's done a good job in a short career so far for that win and a couple of other minor placings. Vincent Ho riding for Francis Lloyd, so a jockey change there. Just has to shoulder the big weight here, but going well enough, I think, to take a race like this.
Yichong Raider had shown something at the trials, not much on race day till this performance where he went back, dived to the rail. Ben Thompson saved all the ground in the world at huge odds and he's run on to finish second behind a very informed horse in Winning Gold.
I think you were keen on him this day as well, Yichong Raider, and throw on the inside there, made up a bit of ground. Now the horse next to him in the striped colours, the white and the orange, that is of course Ledox, and he doesn't get too many opportunities at them in the straight here as well, so keep an eye on him, what he can do here. Ledox, he's coming into this race for his second effort in class 4, and Young Horizon, he put up his sort of usual performance there, did Young Horizon, but certainly keen on Ledox and Yichong Raider out of that.
Here's Mufafa's latest trial, Tom, after his debut. He's had no luck with the draws so far. He's drawn 12 and 11. He wins this over Turin Star Spangled, who is in race number 11 and sight successes in a group race.
Yeah, and both of those horses have trialled well here, including Mufafa. Son of Flying Artie, trial looked good, was up on the pace. So I think he's an option to challenge the lead here, potentially, with All Riches, who does like to go forward. Young Horizon won't be far away. So I think they've got an opportunity to maybe get up outside the leader to avoid a wide passage with Mufafa, but did it well there. Nice and comfortable at the line, ears were pricked as well.
And that was Galaxy Patch at the back also. You've had some time for King Miles right through. Is he on top? Yeah,
we'll stick with him here. King Miles, number 1 for Vincent Ho into Francis Lloyd, drawn barrier number 5. Should get a fairly economical run there. Got Ledox in, Mark Newman, Hugh Bowman, barrier 14, awkward for him, a little bit slow out, so maybe 14 sort of negates that. Was held up, and you could see in that replay, no clear air for him. Yichong Raider and Mufafa off the trial. 1, 2, 9 and 6.
Race 5, number 1 for Tom to win the first leg of Sunday's Triple Trio. Race number 6, Fotan handicap this one, and the distance is 1200. The class is 3. Hasten Delight's been back to the trials since he pulled up Aurora last time. James Tack, he ran second behind Phoenix Light last time. Astrologer has the blinkers going on for the first time. Stellar Express has placed 3 from 5 in his short career in Hong Kong. Ace Victories now with Me Choi. He's won 1 trial for the new stable. Young Superstar and Thriving Brothers both make their Hong Kong racing debuts. And Bulb Emperor has been off the scene since the 28th of April. Ace Victory, Tom, he goes to the lead. He has won from the front in Class 4. He's also won a trial off the speed before his debut for the Choi stable.
Yeah, he was out in the middle part of the track down the straight in that trial was Ace Victory, so we'll see what he can do here for his new stable. He's been freshened. Thriving Brothers has shown a bit of pace when he was in Ireland with Jack Davison when he won over there on the poly track. James Tack will just have to try and get across, but I think there's an opportunity for him to get in front of Thriving Brothers. And then you've got Young Superstar, the former Singapore galloper, with Astrologer, who's a bit out of sorts at the moment, likely to be back. Stellar Express should be right behind the pace somewhere, maybe on the one-off line.
Hugh Bowman has back-to-back rides on Express horses, and the first of them, he talks to Tom around Stellar Express.
Hugh, Stellar Express, you had your first ride on him the other week for John Size. He ran fourth from a good draw, but gee, looked like he had plenty of excuses in the straight.
Yeah, it was probably a bit of a error of judgment. I think if I had taken up the lead, he would have won the race. But that said, he went very well, and there's no reason why he can't do that again this time. So, drawn a little wider, so I don't have the luxury of that sort of really sweet draw, but the horse is in good form and should make his presence felt, I think.
Looks like he's trialled pretty well since on the all-weather.
Yeah, he feels good. He's ready to go. I mean, and he showed that in his most recent start. So, with even luck, he'll be very competitive.
You've also had success aboard Hasten Delight, who's in the same race. Was it a matter of, did you have the choice, or did you have unfinished business on the John Size galloper?
No, unfinished business. So it was Vincent will ride Hasten Delight, who is a horse I've got a high opinion of too. When I rode him last start, he just found himself in traffic and didn't enjoy that. And although he was sort of faded out over the final stages, I wouldn't be too concerned if you're a Hasten Delight supporter. I was really pleased with him, and although he's got carried the top weight, I'm sure he's one of the main competitors.
That's Tom with you on Stellar Express, who also appears in our first replay. Tommy ends up running 7th here. James Tack 2nd, Hasten Delight 10th and Bulb Emperor in 14th. Hasten Delight has run 2nd behind Prestige Always, back up at Chung Fa since that last start, 10th too.
So this was 2 back for Stellar Express, and you would have seen the replay through the interview there that he was very unlucky last time out, and Hugh rightly saying he probably should have won there, and I think he can win this race as well. The form out of this has been good. Full credit, Gracious Express on the inside there. Massive Action, the grey behind Stellar Express, also has won since out of this race. So plenty of good form around him. California Deeply going around later on the program, up and trip as well. So look, I think he's good enough to win here. A lot of respect though for James Tack. Not sure about Hasten Delight here. I've got him in, but he's put up Aurora twice, so that's a concern.
Now the time he won, so it's been hit and miss with Hasten Delight, that is for sure. Here are the 2 first starters up at Chung Fa. Thriving Brothers first and Young Superstar runs 2nd. Thriving Brothers, he's only had the 2 trials for Douglas White for a 2nd, then this win. Young Superstar has had a total of 4 trials for Tony Cruz.
Well, as you know, I'm a big fan of this Irish 2-year-old form, which I think can be a bit questionable sometimes. But looking at a race here where I didn't give it too many chances, his trial looked good. Lyle Hewitson, he's been on board to here for this debut assignment for Douglas White, barrier number 2, son of US Navy flag. Young Superstar was Kung Fu Hero with Jerome Tardy, won 1 race on the turf at Kranji over the 1200 metres. He's got a further £3 to carry here, but he was pushed out a little in that trial. But I will throw in that one of those newcomers there.
The one with the Irish 2-year-old from, are you okay?
I'm okay, yeah. I haven't been drinking, not yet anyway. So he's going to go and I'll put him in.
Okay, what other selections?
I went with, in the end, on top, Stellar Express. I think he can win this. Should have won last time out. Was unlucky, Hugh Bowman riding. James Tack has to be respected. Hasten Delight. And I wasn't overly keen on many others in this race, so I have thrown it in. Thriving Brothers here off that trial. He's had 2 in total, and he liked to race near the pace up in Ireland when he won on the poly track. And also placed 4th. So 4, 2, 1 and 10.
And with the meeting being 11 races, that means race number 6 is the first leg of the 6-up. A free bottle of water with the Shingmun River Channel water in it for race number 7 for the winning connections, and it's a Class 4 over the 1200 metres. Lucy in the Sky ran 2nd behind Glory Elite last time after beating him 2 starts ago. Coming Patch hasn't raced since January of 2023. He's had a tendon injury. Greenwich has been off the scene since he ran 10th in December. There's been nothing in the report on him. Pacifiers with the cowls come off. First starters, the 6 and the 8. Massive talent cheek pieces off. Pacifiers with the cowls go on. Miracles has been scratched his last 2. Wouldn't load 2 starts ago, then injured a right front leg. En route to Happy Valley after that, and Bold Prince has a tongue tie going back on, and he too, Tom, has been off the scene for a while.
Heyday dictated last time out, so I think he'll be up on the pace again, although Miracles also likes to be there. Now, Lucy in the Sky wasn't the quickest out last time out from the gates, but ended up getting a trailing position and had every chance. He got Triple Bliss, who was a newcomer, jumped all right. He was midfield in his recent trial, but he's got barrier 14 to contend with here. Prince of Porty and Coming Patch, another newcomer in the race, as well as Brilliant Express. Jumped okay, but probably likely to go back from barrier 9.
Bowman is back. This time, Tom talks about the first starter in Brilliant Express.
You've got Brilliant Express in race 7 also for John Size. Makes his debut, class 4, 1200 metres. What can you tell us about him off his most recent trial?
Well, he's a very natural running horse. He's continued to develop nicely in the trials. I think he will benefit from the race experience. I think, whatever he does, he'll improve on very swiftly in time to come. But I think he's forward enough to be competitive. And again, he's going to have to it's going to be a learning curve for him. But like I said, he's very natural. He's got good gate speed, and his fitness levels are where they need to be competitive.
Does that mean you can maybe put him into the race from barrier 9, a little bit of a tricky draw first up?
It's a bit tricky, but like I said, he's got natural speed, so I won't disrupt that. It's just be a case of what the others do as to where I settle down, but he's forward enough to run really, really well.
A quick comment on Invincible Sage lining up in the sprint, the Sha Tin Vars. How's he come on, do you think, since his Group 1 performance?
Well, he's gone to Chung Fa, so I haven't had much to do with him since he raced, but he trialled well there under Alexi Bedell. He's certainly taken the necessary steps forward this season, and there's no reason why we can't continue to see that progress this weekend.
Obviously, handicap conditions makes that a bit tougher against a few younger up-and-coming horses too.
Yeah, sure, but he doesn't have to carry the top weight. With Victor, the winner there, he gets a little bit of weight relief, so look, I'm not too concerned about the weight that he's carrying, and from a good draw, the race looks to set up well for him again.
That is Hugh on a Brilliant Express. We move on, Tom, to Lucy in the Sky, who was a winner 2 starts ago and then couldn't catch Glory Elite this time after Glory Elite couldn't catch him at the start prior.
Yeah, and look, Glory Elite just slipped away here once they straightened up for the run home, and I thought he pretty much had every chance. As I mentioned before, he wasn't exactly the quickest out of the gates, but he was able to get that nice trailing position. He's obviously got 135 pounds here, which is going to make it trickier for him here again, but he's got to be respected the way he has been going. But there's a couple of others I do like in this. I think he just might be a little anchored here with the 135 this time round, so I'm going to go against him on top.
Word of caution on Lucy in the Sky. Steps Ahead's had a debut placing behind Heyday, who led and was too good. He makes up a lot of ground. Steps Ahead. Prince of Porty, never usually too far away. He wasn't in this race either, but Steps Ahead comes out a fitter horse for this first start second.
Yeah, so he's 3 pounds better off with Heyday for that neck beating last time out, and he was back in the field and saved all the ground on the inside and then got into the clear in the straight. Prince of Porty's 7 pounds better off, and he actually wasn't the fastest away this day either, and he stayed on okay out wider as a beaten favourite here, but just really liked the way that Steps Ahead knuckled down over the final stages. There was a fair bit of support for him first up at 5.3, so I think he can win this from a good draw.
And finally, Tom, Coming Patch on the comeback trial. Been a long time off the track as Coming Patch. That is him right of screen, the second of his 2 trials.
Yeah, and he wasn't put under too much pressure here in this most recent barrier trial. It's been a long time since we've seen him. He's had a right 4 tendon injury. 518 days since he won on January 1, 2023, and he did it the tough way as well. He came from a long way back and basically was last at the top of the straight and rounded them up, so it was a good performance, but we'll see what he can do here first up.
We will indeed, but Steps Ahead, the one to beat for you.
Yeah, he's definitely the one to beat off that first up run with a good draw this time round. There was a lot of support for him at his debut. Steps Ahead. Brilliant Express, I'm throwing him in off his trials. Hugh Bowman's been on board for a number of them. I think he can certainly show up at his debut from from a wide draw, which is a little tricky, but he has got some speed. Lucy in the Sky with the big weight, and Heyday will be trying to no doubt do it again off the front. But 5, 6, 1 and 11 for race number 7.
Tom with Vincent Hohen, Francis Lloyd, a strike from barrier number 1 in the 7th. Race number 8 is group racing with a scratching. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing Super Sunny Singh. He's come out race 8, number 5 for the Lion Rock Trophy. Beauty Joy won this race 2 years ago. Encountered, he's been back to the trial since a disappointing performance. Galaxy Patch has his second go over 1,600 metres. The Golden Scenery carries 20 pounds less than what he did in Class 2 last time, and Ching Ching Glory, he's a last start winner over 1,600 metres. That makes it win number 5 for him over the distance, Tom, and he rolls to the front.
Yes, he certainly does. Ching Ching Glory with the lightweight. Didn't lead last time out, but they've got an opportunity to do here. So if he doesn't, Encountered potentially is the other one that could lead, and then Ching Ching Glory takes the trial. But I think they'll lead with Ching Ching Glory. Taj Dragon, the Golden Scenery, or Tullabagil at the back with Galaxy Patch maybe just in front of him.
Taj Dragon winning form last time. Pretty ordinary conditions this run in Class 1. It was over 1,400 metres, which is where all of his wins have come, and the further they went, the closer a Tullabagil was able to get.
Yeah, and so look, he was under a lot of pressure here too, was Tullabagil towards the back of the field. He just looked like he was just going nowhere at about the 250 metres, but really launched into it late. Taj Dragon, if this race was over 1,400 metres, could easily entertain him here. It was a good win with the claiming rider, Alice Wong, on the board, but just at 1,600 metres, I don't think it's his preferred set up and go here. But look at Tullabagil launched late when he looked as flat as anything at the 300.
He did, so the extra 200 metres a bonus for him. He has won over the distance before. Galaxy Patch Champions Mile here, Tom, with Taj Dragon and Beauty Joy, but the speed they ran this race, it made it very hard for those back in the field to get into the finish.
Certainly did, and he did a good job in the end, and we still don't know what his best trip is yet. Of course, he's been up to a Derby distance. He's run over 1,400 metres. All of his wins so far over 1,200 metres, which was sort of lending everyone's thoughts to that he was just a sprinter and sprinter alone, and he's definitely not showing that he's a cut above a few of these other horses in this race, I think, to win this, and he's got a lot of quality about him. So even though the conditions and the race setup there didn't suit, I think they can suit here.
Beauty Joy is a 2-time Group 3 winner, including a previous Lion Rock Trophy, but he has 135 pounds on his back. Next nearest to him is Encountered and Taj Dragon with 127.
Yeah, of course, he finally got a win 2 starts ago in the Chairman's Trophy leading into Champions Day over Beauty Eternal, and then Beauty Eternal, who is a former race winner of this race as well, was able to get the upper hand on him last time out in the Champions Mile there. He was beaten 6 lengths, closed off pretty well here behind My Flying Angel on a rain-affected all-weather track out in the middle part. So it's just the big weight, 135 pounds, that's going to, I think, make it difficult for him to win here.
And one more to have a look at it is Ching Ching Glory. There he is in those pink colours around the Golden Scenery, and Ching Ching Glory carried 119 pounds in winning this race. So he may take just the 2 off Lyle Hewitson. Either way, he's going to carry less than what he did to win this race.
Yeah, both out of the handicap here, and of course he carried 119 here to victory and put them away pretty quickly once he got past Outgated about the 200 metres here last time out. He's done a terrific job for his connections. He's won 6 of 14. He's a 5-time course and distance winner, and of course he ran pretty well through all 3 legs of the 4-year-old series. So he's definitely in this as Ching Ching Glory.
He was unlucky not to win the Classic Cup, but who wins the Lion Rock?
I'm going to go with Galaxy Patch here for Pierre Ung. I think he can bounce back and win this. Vincent Ho riding him for the first time. Of course, Vincent was on board in that trial. Ching Ching Glory, I think that's the Quinella of forecast. Or Tullabagil up to 1,600 metres again. And a Beauty Joy, he's got plenty of quality about him, but the big weight just might find it a little tough here. 4, 8, 7 and 1.
Tom with Galaxy Patch to win the first of a back-to-back Group 3 double coming up on Sunday at Sha Tin. Race number 9, the second of the Group 3s, is the Sha Tin Vase, and the distance is 1,200 metres. Victor, the winner, 7th last time, behind Invincible Sage, who won the Chairman's Sprint Prize. Sight Success back from Dubai. Stoltz back from a right fore humerus injury. How Deep Is Your Love? He ran 5th behind Invincible Sage last time. Mugen ran 3rd in the Chairman's Sprint Prize. Son Pak Fu having his second start for Tony Cruz. And Ka Ying Rising comes into group company for the first time on the back of a very impressive last start win, Tom.
Victor the winner, he likes to lead, and I think we'll have Ka Ying Rising right on his hammer in close attendance. Stoltz, who's of course more known for his good form over the 1,000 metres, is resuming here. Sight success back from Dubai's trial up nicely. Invincible Sage, I think, should get a really pretty much similar run, maybe that one place further back to what he had in the Chairman's Sprint Prize, with the Flying Ace, who's drawn a good gate this time round. Son Pak Fu and him, I think, will be towards the end with Mugen.
We do start with the Group 1, the Chairman's Sprint Prize, and a perfect trip for Invincible Sage. Victor the winner knocked up in the last bit here, and he does have to carry 135, which is plenty more than this race. How Deep Is Your Love is following the winner. Flying Ace is well back, and Mugen is last, and he does run on well.
He just had the perfect run here, did Invincible Sage, and Bowman's now taking him off the fence, coming towards the home turn. He stalked them here. Victor the winner up front with California Spangle, and once he comes off heels here at about the 350 metres or so, really chimes into it strongly. Not a big horse by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got plenty of quality about him, and he was a Group 1 winner here. How Deep Is Your Love? Flying Ace also staying on. He's actually drawn his best gate he ever has in his 20-start career now. Mugen ran a PB here as well. I think it's going to be tough for Victor the winner with the big weight, and he's going to get a bit of company from the up-and-coming 3-year-old as well.
That is Ka Ying Rising, who we're going to see shortly. Firstly, a little bit of a trip to Dubai for the Al-Quoz Sprint. That's California Spangle leading in the yellow and red colours. He's not there in this race on Sunday, but Sight Success certainly is.
And you can see he's basically the back here over on the inside part, the inside division here, and does his best work later. Again, he didn't really look like he was going anywhere before the 200 metres, but his last 150 really found the line solidly, and he's of course performed well in Dubai in the past. He was albeit on the other side of the track in the year prior. So look, the run there was good. He's trialled up nicely, so he's not the worst in a race like this.
2 trials, blinkers on the first time for Sight Success. Here is Ka Ying Rising. Tommy looks pretty exciting. He's outside of Packing Treadmill. He had a lot of weight, pulling the weights over Packing Treadmill in this race, and Son Pak Fu, he's up 3 wide turning for home.
I do like him here, Ka Ying Rising, but my only reservation is he's the younger horse, the 3-year-old against some of the more seasoned up-and-coming handicap horses here in Hong Kong. So that's sort of my only reservation with him. I like that he's got the light weights, and he did it effortlessly here over a bunch of horses, including Packing Treadmill, Gorgeous Win and Co. But I just think the 3-year-old against some of these older horses, Group 1 performers like Invincible Sage and Victor the winner, he's right in this, but I think Invincible Sage can still beat him because he's carrying 129. Here
is Victor the winner. Talking of him, Tom, so he's got nothing on his back. Ka Ying Rising. Victor the winner has the top weight of 135. He's been up to Chung Fa and did it easily all the way in front in this trial.
Yeah, so this time round with 135 and comparing him to Invincible Sage this time round, he's actually £6 worse off here in the handicap. He did cop some pressure in that race from California Spangle last time out. Trial looked good, led up into 1. Of course, he beat Little Bros in this trial. So, look, he's a Group 1 winner. He has to be respected, but it's the big weight, I think, that just might find him a little anchored here.
Does Invincible Sage go Group 1, Group 3, bang, bang?
Yeah, I think he can. He's only got the 129 on his back as well, so he's the one to beat, I think, along with the Ka Ying Rising. They're the 2 I like. How Deep Is Your Love has been performing consistently, and he has trialled nicely leading into with this. He's had 2 trials, and Mugen makes in it as well. He's also out of the handicap here, but wasn't overly keen on his recent barrier trial. But if you just go on his race day form alone, I think he's right in this. 2, 9, 6 and 7.
And the Sha Tin Vase is the first leg of Sunday's Late Treble. Race number 10 is a Class 4 over the 1,400 metres, and the horse at the top of the book is My Flying Angel, who's on a class drop. Visor off, cheek pieces go back on. Top scorer, 3 starts, 3 placings, course and distance. Grand Boss raced wide last time. Handsome Bomb, he runs over the trip for the first time. Happy Daily's a 3-time course and distance winner. Better Draw for Smart Fighter. CP1 is back in trip. Excellent Daddy's best record is 1,200 metres. And down towards the bottom, we've got Hoss, whose all wins have been over the 1200 at Happy Valley. My Flying Angel, Tom, off the back of a trial where he led all of the way, leads on race day.
Yeah, he's come up with an awkward barrier draw though, hasn't he? My Flying Angel, barrier 12, visor off, cheek pieces being reapplied, but looked good when leading in that trial and has gone forward in the past. Happy Daily could be the odd one out here. A top scorer won't be far away. Ruby Sailing stepping up and trip from the 1,000 to the 1,400 metres. Not a few. Smart Fighter should get a nice enough run, and Let's Do It with Grand Boss towards the end.
We go with Alexi Bedell talking to Tom about his ride, My Flying Angel.
Alexi, My Flying Angel, he had a run at Happy Valley last time out. Did he just not handle the city circuit and maybe the rain-affected track that night?
I think a bit of both, and he came from a wide gate. It was very difficult, a lot of pressure in the race. We know that Happy Valley for the young horses, sometimes when they're not totally acclimatized to Hong Kong, can be difficult, so I'll forgive him for that.
What did you make of his run at Sha Tin 2 starts ago when he ran fourth and was up on the pace?
That was a good run, and I think I'm hopeful he can repeat that performance, and he's been trialling very well since, so I'm expecting him to run well.
Is it going to make it difficult from maybe the wide draw this week? Do you have to go forward with him, or is there option to go back as well?
No, I think he's improved in his manners and his focus and concentration into races. So I think he'll begin well, and I'll judge the pace. There's no obligation.
You mentioned that trial before. He looked pretty impressive on the all-weather at Sha Tin a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a horse that got abilities, and he should, from this handicap mark, he should be able to do well.
Which takes us perfectly, Tom, into the trial of My Flying Angel. It was a good field, and he's done it very, very easily here.
Yeah, look, you've got horses like James Tack behind him there, Beauty Joy out wider on the track as well, second to none back in the field there as well, and he was up on the pace here with those cheek pieces on and rolling along and doing it very nicely over these concluding stages here. Got out to a decent margin as well. It was 4 3/4 lengths on a track that wasn't ideal, rain affected. It's barrier 12, just how much gas he has to use to get across the face of the field, but I think those will be the tactics, just get straight to the front with him.
Race day form now, and top scorer has done pretty much everything other than win a race. He's had 5 starts and he's placed in all 5, 3 of them over the 1,400 metres. Gets a better draw this week. He had 12 in this replay. Yeah,
and pretty much had every chance here up outside the lead. He just hasn't quite been able to get his nose in the front. There was some early pressure in this race. You can see the horse on the inside. I think it was Riverview's dropped out of that fairly quickly. But look, he was right there to challenge, just run down and beaten in the end by the horse on his outside, Jolly Ruler. So he's in this. I've always had a bit of time for top scorer. Again, he's only a lightly tried 3-year-old, and he's definitely done a good job, but just hasn't quite been able to get that nose in front. Just a little soft there late, I thought.
And Jolly Ruler, who wins that race, is in race number 11. Before we preview the 11th, we need to finish race number 10. Smart Fighter runs 3rd, CP1 10th. He did make some ground after a slow start in a recent trial, CP1, whereas Smart Fighter's trial looked a bit basic.
Yes, it was. He just didn't really do a lot in that trial. I've always had time for him. He's a nice type by Sacred Falls. He had a nice run in transit here, sort of 1 back, 1 out. I just wondered maybe he hit the front a bit soon in the straight here, because he was gunned down by a horse that had never won up until this, and that was Celtic Times. And the form's sort of been there or thereabouts with a few of these runners. The horse on the inside there in the pink and the white as well. I just think he may have hit the front a bit soon in the straight.
He's got a good draw this week of 2. He has had some bad barriers throughout his career. Who do you like in this one?
I went with the 3 in the end to top scorer. Give him another chance. I thought he's got some pretty consistent form. Only lightly tried. 3-year-old Hugh Bowman, John Size. I think they're in for a good afternoon. Smart Fighter goes in. Trial was just so-so, but he's been racing well enough without too much luck from some of those draws. My Flying Angel and Handsome Bomb was a bit one pace last time out, but he's trialled up since, ran 3rd in a trial. Must Go was in that trial. Of course, he won midweek at Sha Tin. 3, 8, 1 and 5.
That's a look at race number 10. Start time for the second last is 8:45 local time. And the last of 11 on Sunday looks this way. It is a Class 3 and it's over 1,400 metres. Simple Hedge has the blinkers off and the earplugs on for the first time. Solid Impact has placed 5 from 10 course and distance. Turin Star Spangles had 2 trials since his last start. Second to None ran second his first go in this grade. Man Rayona has had 7 trials before his Hong Kong debut. Capital Legend comes back in trip and a wider draw for City Thunder. The pace angle here, Tom comes from second to None lead Storm Rider and Capital Legend finds a good spot.
Well, there's actually not too many leaders in this race here, so it could be on the slow side, the tempo. And second to None, he hasn't got a leader's profile, but he's got form where he's sat relatively handy in the run. Capital Legend comes into this. Well, he could be the alternate leader in the race because he has led in the past to Capital Legend. Storm Rider shouldn't be too far away. He's also sat handy. Solid Impact as well. He was quite unlucky here the other day, was a Solid Impact. You've got Simple Hedge and Turin Star Spangled. Turin Star Spangled actually raced up on the pace in a recent trial, so maybe a few different permutations can happen here in the last.
Oh, good word, permutations. Here's Ben Thompson talking to Tom around Lost Child.
Ben, Lost Child lines up late in the day for Michael Chang. He's been very consistent. How do you feel about him this weekend with the light weight, and he is obviously eligible for something easier too?
Yeah, for sure, Tom. It's my third ride on him, so hopefully third time lucky. He's been racing fantastic. The form out of each of his runs and his racing defeats has been strong. Equally finishing behind Patch of Theta at his latest, he lost no admirers, so he comes in with a nice light weight. Barrier 5, which he jumped from last time, really, helps, I think, give himself his best chance at breaking through at Class 3. I think he doesn't have to really go much better to race as he is, and if we can use the draw and have less ground to make up, he's going to be right there late.
He looks like he should get a pretty good run through from that draw, doesn't he?
He does. He's as I said, he's racing so well. He's in a good vein of form. Obviously, he's a multiple winner in Class 4. He hasn't managed to do that yet at Class 3, but he's not far off. So, been beaten a length and a quarter and 3/4 of a length these last 2. Hopefully, it's due to be his turn. So, hopefully, it is for him and connections.
And we stay with Lost Child and Ben in our first replay here. Tom amongst a few others. Second to None, Principled 9th, Harmony Galaxy 13th and Turin Star Spangled. Disappointing. His trials since haven't been too bad. Are you taking any of these?
Yeah, I'm taking certainly second to None in this. The others... Look, Lost Child has got a good draw and he won't be too far away. He just hasn't won in this grade, but he's got another opportunity here again. Principled's been missing the start. He missed the start at his first start, and then he's missed his gate at the trials as well. So we'll see what he can do. Thought about maybe Turin Star Spangled just because his trial was better coming into this, and he had a difficult run first up, so maybe not the worst there. And Harmony Galaxy only beat one home at his first start and has trialled okay since. So maybe a couple of improvers out of that.
For you to watch out of that first replay. Second one is a win for Jolly Ruler, but this was down in grade last time. He has handled the Class Rise before because he's a 2-time winner in Class 3.
He is, and he was a bit of a shock result here last time out at 35-1, knocking off the top scorer in this race. But he had the perfect run. He was right behind the speed and was able to find plenty over the final stages for Andrea Razzini. Had barrier 10 too, so he was given a good ride. He should get a nice enough run through this time, you'd think, from barrier number 4, and we'll see if he can be competitive here at this distance again, albeit up in grade.
Top scorer in race number 10, of course. Also, California Deeply, long time before he appeared at Sha Tin, but he's been there this season. He was exclusively, or long time 1200 I should say, because he had been at Sha Tin. He'd been exclusively a 1,000 metre horse. He's going to 1,400 for the first time.
Been calling for this for a long time. Putting him on top here, California Deeply, on the sole reason he's up to 1,400 metres. A son of Deepfield. He's not won for a long time. He's only a 2-time winner, but he's run over 1,200 metres time and time again. And here he is closing off strongly behind the likes of Gracious Express here. The Stellar horse there as well, Stellar Express, who was unlucky not to win there. So 1,400 metres, surely he can win.
Tony's finally listening. Who else do you want up in grade? You're my everything. Distance.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Tony. You're listening. If he wins California Deeply. Storm Riders always look pretty smart. He's been to Chung Fa. He's had just the one trial. He hasn't raced since the end of April. He ran 9th behind Phoenix Lights. Goes to the 1,400 metres for the third time he's won over the distance.
Last start he was back and he sort of made some minor inroads late. And that was a good form race, of course, where that Phoenix Light race has been a few winners come out of that. He had the trail in this recent barrier trial here up at Chung Fa, where he has run third. Karis Teaton riding for David Hayes. Not asked for too much here. He was on yielding ground over 1,200 metres last time out, so if it remains good for the weekend, we'll see if the 1,400 metres can be the right sort of factor for him.
But the factor is the distance for California Deeply this week.
It definitely is. California Deeply here for Tony Cruz and Luke Ferraris, drawn barrier number 1 as well. Whether barrier 1's totally ideal for him, he's a horse that does get back and run on, but up to 1,400 metres, second to none. He's been in good form. Solid Impact really unlucky 7 days ago, and a Storm Rider makes it in as well. 9, 6, 2 and 4 for the finale.
There it is, all of the information for the first twilight meeting of the current season. 11 races on the B course, and we get underway at 4 o'clock local time.